First off, Abhinav, if I had to ask you to to choose one of the words, one of the following words to sum up India's campaign, which one would it be? Happy, retrospective, or disappointed?
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm an athlete conditioned, which was conditioned with hope. So I remain hopeful. I would consider the Olympics in Paris to be a mixed bag of sorts for India. I think our athletes did very well. I think the one thing we have to acknowledge that the performances of our Olympic team was probably the best ever, in the sense that we were more competitive, in a wide variety of disciplines. Our athletes showed a good fight, and that also is success, by the way. It may not have translated into medals as yet, but has there been progress made? Definitely there has been progress made, and I think we must all firstly acknowledge that. Has that translated onto the medals tally and onto the medals table? Obviously, not as much as we expected it to. I mean, with a little bit of luck, we could have had a few more going our way. Sure. But I think on the whole, I think we all thought that this was a time where we could perhaps reach double digits. And obviously the path was there to actually get it. But that is sport, and that is how Olympic sport is all about. Within the Olympic Games, it's an extremely, extremely competitive event. It is fiercely competed. I mean, it is really, athletes are at the edge of human performance, and it is incredibly difficult to get there on the podium. So I think our athletes did well. Our athletes were well supported through their journey to Paris. I think we all acknowledge that there has been a lot of good work which has happened by the government as well to support elite athletes, to make sure that they are well taken care of, not just a few months prior to the Games, but consistently through their journey. And I think looking ahead, what is important is to learn. Sport is always about learning. Sport is always about trying to get better, not just athletes, but the entire system. And I think that is what we should reflect back on, is that how do we get better? How do we move from where we are to the next level? What has gone well? We must acknowledge that. What could be improved on? We should also acknowledge that and try and get better on those aspects. So that is how I really look at it. Yeah, it is in terms, I did say it's a mixed bag, because I think we're a large country, and we'd all like to see our country win many more medals, because definitely the potential is definitely there.
But if I had to ask you to look back at that campaign and sum up, what was probably the biggest positive that India can take away from it? What would that be for you, Abhinav?
No, I won't name any of the 6 individuals who ended up with medals. They're all heroes, they've done magnificently. But I think the biggest positive was 2 counts. I think our athletes on the whole were far more competitive than ever. I haven't seen an Olympic team from India being so competitive around. Does that stop us? The next question is that good enough? Probably not. Yeah. But you also have to acknowledge what has gone well. All around, I think the athletes' general performance in terms of competitiveness across wide disciplines was great, and was more competitive than ever before. I think what was also very interesting to see and gratifying to see was just the general interest that the Olympics are generating. I think it's fair to say that we are no longer a one-sport nation.
On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can we expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
We start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Eric Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.